So I knew the menu back to front because they had to do it so often.
Well, that's just Chinese. It would be that way, no, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I agree. They said you'll have to pay a penalty.
Oh, the Germans and penalties.
That penalty...
My one and only husband.
Okay. Oh, it's Chesney Hawkes. She climbed that tree.
With her bare hands?
No, she got human hands. I once refused to help a hang glider who had become tangled in a tree because 2 hours earlier he had been rude to me in a car park.
David C.
I love it. How high up in the tree was he?
He was about 2/3 of the way up of the tree. You probably want to know the height of the tree, don't you?
Yes, please.
The height of the tree was about how high he was plus 1/3.
So he wasn't 2/3 of the way up the tree, he was 3/4.
He was...
If he was 2/3 of the way up the tree, then the height of the tree was how high he was plus 1/2.
That is a fair point, isn't it?
He's made you look an idiot.
Yeah.
Where was the car park?
The car park was just near a cliff.
Right, yeah.
What was the altercation that you had with him?
He took the last space that I considered my space. Because I got to the space in the car park, and I did that thing where I was waiting with my hazard lights on.
Yeah.
He came around the corner, and just as the person pulled up, he pulled straight into the space.
Oh,
I got out the car, I would say menacingly. I approached his car. He got out the car, bigger. And I said, forget it then, you know. That's your attitude.
So
Did he get his equipment out then?
No. He'd already belittled me enough.
Where was this tree? What were you doing when you came across this tree with him in it?
I was just going for a stroll with my wife.
And you heard a noise. Did you hear him or see him first?
I heard him first.
You heard
yes.
him. What was the sound that you heard? You're talking to your
can you
wife.
imagine a kite hitting a tree, times that by 50, and then add a human? That is what it sounded like. Ow! Obviously, I took the smart-ass approach and I went, "Oi, think you'll find I was going to park there?"
What did he say?
He went, "Help! Can you... help!" And I couldn't see him at first, because it was just a sort of mess of tree and hang glider and...
What sort of tree was it, Lee?
It was a big one.
No, trees have names, don't they?
Brian,
was it an
the big
oak
tree.
or a birch or an ash? The species of tree.
I'm going to go for oak.
But was it an oak?
No. Look, I'm walking along with my wife. Ba, 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 ba. Ah, crash! Pow! Wow! Is that an oak? That's not how conversations go, is it? You're going, there's a man in a tree fighting for his life.
A man in a tree shouting, help, help,
Help,
me,
help!
help.
I'm stuck in an oak, I think.
And what did you say to him as he shouted help?
That's not an oak! You're confusing me now. When I have to relay this on Would I Lie to You, I'll get all confused. And it's your fault. I don't know. I think it might be a sycamore. Can you just help me?
Sycamore?
Yeah, when he fell out, he went like that all the way down.
And what did your wife have to say about this?
My wife said, we must help him. And I said, I refuse. I absolutely refuse.
And she just went along with that?
Nope. She climbed that tree.
Yeah.
She climbed that tree.
With her bare hands?
No, she got human hands. She climbed that tree, and luckily she had some nail scissors, and she slowly started cutting at the many bits of tangled up bits around him, until eventually she managed to help him get down.
The hang glider had strings like a parachute.
Sounds like a parachute, doesn't it?
I should point out, I'd walked away, and this is just the story that my wife recounted.
And then when did you next see your wife?
I still haven't seen her since.
So what did she...
He was a very good-looking Spanish guy, apparently.
All right. Super. Well, this is definitely true. Did you leave this?
No.
A lie?
Yeah.
No, I think we think it's a lie because of... We think it's a lie because of what he said.
Lee, was it the truth or was it a lie?
Of course it was a lie.
On a dark winter's night, I once broke into the garden of the local witch's house and was shocked by what I found there.
David, Steve.
OK, at what point...
There's a lot of questions, isn't it?
At what point in your life did this happen?
I'm going to guess somewhere between when I was 11 and 13.
12?
I'm going to say 12.
And you say the local witch's house. What do you mean by that?
I mean, this is a very distant memory now.
OK.
It was the house, not very far from me, where all the kids said that the witch lived.
And who did live there?
I don't know their name.
Right.
I'll call them Mary Candles. It had hedges at the front, you know, it's like uncut hedges, a front gate covered with hedging, and it said on the front gate, it said simply the words, "No thanks."
No, really?
So that's quite creepy, isn't it?
Can I ask you a question? You started that with saying you were shocked by what you saw there.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, shocked by what I found there.
What did you find there?
I'm not comfortable with telling you that just yet. Sorry, I'm not.
This is going so far, it's got to be a lie, isn't it?
Let me just say, it does not have to be a lie. Whatever he says, however absurd, it could still be true. However plausible, it could still be a lie. Essentially, what we are doing for this section is entirely futile. We will talk for a bit, then we will guess, then it will be over.
So how did you come to go into this house? Who were you with?
I was with, what was he called? I was with Ken Numbers. I changed it, yeah. Ronnie Calculator's son. The vibe is, it's very unkempt, it's the gardening, because as we all know, Lee, yeah, witches hate gardening, wizards hate plumbing. Right? So we knew it was a female residence.
Right. So you'd never seen Mary Candles, but you were only speculating it must be a witch rather than a wizard because it was an unkempt garden with no sign of deficient plumbing.
Exactly. You know, we wanted to be the first people who said, no, we penetrated, you know, its boundaries.
Yeah.
We went into the front lawn, down a gate to the side, past the bins, past the back door, yeah, and then to the window where there was a light on, a big picture window, looked inside, and that's when we saw this extraordinary sight. Well, extraordinary to us as 12-year-olds.
What was it? You've got to say.
It was a tiny, tiny horse. And I'm not saying it was watching television, that was all that was in the room, was a tiny horse and a television on. I did get in the house.
You got in the house?
Yes, Mrs. Candles came out.
Right.
Yes, and she said to me, "You're one of the Mortimer boys, aren't you?"
Were you?
Yeah. So Ken said. And she said, "Would you like to come in and see the horse?" And she took us in, and it stank of paraffin. It was hot.
The horse?
Hot. No, well, the house...
I thought about the horse stunk of paraffin.
The horse did stink, actually.
Did he?
Yeah.
Of?
Meat, hot meat. As we were looking at the horse, I always remember this, she came in, and she had a toilet seat in her hand. And she said, "If I give you some money, do you think you could get rid of this for me?"
What did you do with it?
Just threw it on our way home, just threw it somewhere else, I imagine.
Did she say what the horse's name was?
Max.
Yes. Yeah. You'd have thought minimum.
All right, well, now, Suggs, what are you thinking about this?
I mean, you know, it's so preposterous, but David's flung me by saying this is the way he carries on anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same.
I mean, but no, I'm saying lie, of course.
You say it's a lie.
It was when you said the horse smelt like hot meat.
Well, do you remember the detail of the paraffin heaters?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We're talking 40, maybe 50 degrees there with those old...
40 or 50 degrees centigrade. So we're talking like the temperature of the desert in Saudi Arabia.
Did you ever see Mary Candles again?
No, never.
Never saw her again?
Never saw her again.
She probably melted in that heat.
All right, what are you going to say then, David?
Do we think lie?
I think it's a lie. I think it's a lie.
I think it is a lie.
All right, they're saying it's a lie. Now, we should bear in mind that when it comes to Bob, David has a very poor track record. Let's see if he can be better tonight. Bob, truth or lie?
I was telling the truth.
No! I have never, ever drunk a can of fizzy drink in my life.
What? Never, ever.
There's a limit to what we can ask here. Have you ever had a can of Coke?
Never.
Oh. 7-Up?
Nope.
Do you not like fizzy drinks?
All the evidence is there, isn't it?
How do you know you don't like fizzy drink?
Because, to me, even as a child, water was something that was natural and lovely and pure. And why somebody would stick
Even as a
carbon,
child?
a whole load of sugar, even as a young child, it just felt like the devil's work.
So, Tracy-Ann, can I tempt you to try a sugary carbonated drink? Now, would you be willing to try one of these?
Bring it over, and let's see how far I can get in the process. Look, the whole thing with the big famous one is 125 years old. It's a secret recipe. The fact that it's still a secret after 125 years means it was made by the devil.
This is a diet drink. This is full sugar. But this is also a sugary drink.
Rob, can I ask, what is the point of this exercise?
To see if I'm lying.
Well, no, because you're clearly going to be capable of going, oh, no, I don't want a fizzy drink. You're not going to be such a fizzy drink addict that you can't stop yourself from going, oh, yes, I do love it. I do love it, actually. Yes, it was a lie, and I'd do it again.
Because if she is telling the truth, what a lovely opportunity. How often have you seen a grown woman taking her first sips of a sugary carbonated drink?
The best thing this can be is cruel.
Right, OK. Which one are you going for? That one. Right, so we can lose these two. Let's bring it here. I haven't shut your face.
You've made this the most light entertainment bit I've ever seen. I'm going to lose them two. There's the two. Those are safe. That's your boss fair on. They're fine. You're just playing now for the red can, love. Just the red can.
Where have you come from tonight, Tracy-Ann? You want to give a wave to everybody back at home there? She's gone for the red can.
The red can.
So this may or may not be Tracy-Ann's first time drinking a sugary carbonated drink.
Don't drink it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You've made your point.
Have I?
You don't have to.
Oh, I'm getting better at the opening. No, it's wrong.
Can you not even sip it? I think that's...
So, Tracy-Ann, you're definitively saying that you're not going to drink.
You're drinking it.
Oh.
Oh, my God, it's everything I thought it was going to be. It's disgusting.
Oh, get used to that phrase, Rob.
All right, there we are. So what are you going to say? Was she acting?
I think you are.
She's been
brilliant.
in EastEnders. Would she be that good an actress to convince you?
Instinctively, I liked the shiny cans were great.
Yes.
You know, the different colours. I think it's a great addition to the format. I think we think it's a lie.
OK. Right. Tracy-Ann, truth or lie?
It's the truth.
Because it irritates me so much, I'm always correcting people when they wrongly call fog mist and mist fog.
David.
All right. What is the distinction, Lee, between mist and fog?
Well, that is a very good question, David.
Yeah.
Any others? Mist is... I used to live by the coast. We used to have a lot of sea fret. You know sea fret.
Nope. What's sea fret?
Sea fret is like it's a sort of mist. Right. It's produced by the sea.
Fog-like, you might say.
That really irritates me, that, David. There is a thing called sea fret, and it's when the mist comes off the sea. It's the water that comes off the sea, and we used to have a lot of that. And I remember my mum said, oh, it's foggy again. And I killed her. I would say that was when it started. I call that day one.
So, here's a question maybe familiar to you,
Yes.
Lee. What is the difference between mist and fog?
I'll tell you exactly the difference. Mist comes from a very rainy day, which then becomes...
misty.
Misty. Whereas fog is when it's foggy. Fog comes from a drop in temperature. It's very cold suddenly. There has to be a sudden temperature change for fog. Mist is the opposite and is often created by heat, which causes water to evaporate and thus causing mist. And be honest, you weren't expecting that, Luke.
So fog is as a result of a sudden drop in temperature, mist is a result of evaporation caused by heat.
Yeah.
And can you tell to look at it? Or do you have to have known the meteorological backstory?
You can tell by looking at it. Mist is... how can I describe it in layman's terms?
It's mist thinner.
Yeah, fog is denser. Mist is a little bit... It's a bit easier to see.
But how could you tell the difference between a light fog and a heavy mist?
You can tell the difference in the same way as you can tell the difference between a light, fat person and a heavy, thin person.
When was the last time you corrected someone on
The
that?
last foggy day we had.
Who was it that you corrected?
Corrected a sailor, actually.
How did you find yourself to be with a sailor?
I was on a fishing trip.
On a fishing trip?
On a fishing trip, just off the west coast of Scotland.
What were you doing up there?
Lost. It was from Brighton we left.
What do you feel about the Paul Gascoigne song Fog on the Tyne?
I feel worse when he took that penalty and he missed.
Why do you find people making this mistake between two phenomena that do look pretty similar?
Why do you find it
similar? Yes, of course they look similar.
No, they don't.
They look similar. It's like the air is difficult to look through. What is it about the distinction between mist and fog that makes it a particular bugbear of yours?
I think it's because of when I lost my Uncle Pete at sea.
So what are you going to say, then? Is it the truth?
Lie.
Lie.
We think it's a lie.
OK, Lee, truth or lie?
It's a lie.
As a child, my family weren't able to have a dog, so instead we got a cat and treated it like a dog.
David Steve.
When you say weren't able to have a dog, was there a medical reason?
No, essentially, there was nowhere to exercise a dog where we lived. So my parents decided that it wasn't really fair to have a dog.
Where did you live?
So I wasn't able... Well, weirdly, it was called the Isle of Dogs.
What was the cat called?
The cat was called Kiska.
Kiska?
Yeah.
If anything, it's quite a feline name, isn't it?
Well, it was a cat, of course.
How do you treat a cat like a dog?
You put it on a lead and you take it for walks.
Isn't that exercising the cat?
That is exercising the cat.
I thought that was the very reason why you couldn't have a dog. You were unable to exercise.
Wherever we went during the day, the cat came with us.
On a lead?
Yeah, on a lead, but the lead isn't really long enough for a cat, so we used to tie a 30-foot washing line to the lead, and you could walk at least 30 yards.
And dry your clothes at the same time.
When you take the cat out in the car, what would be the arrangement in the car if you're going on a journey?
Well, my dad built the cat a shelf which went from the dashboard of the passenger seat and slotted in.
Can I just say,
into the metal of the headrest.
If this turns out to be a lie and they get it right that it's a lie, you have made life extremely hard for yourself.
Why couldn't the cat just be on the seat? Why does the cat need a shelf?
Because the cat couldn't see if it was on the seat.
So what are you thinking, David Steam?
The thing that I find very believable, because I don't think Hugh would have invented it, is the shelf. not actually treating the cat like a dog or like a cat, but just like, I don't know, like a book.
Or like a catalogue.
What are you going to say? You think a lie?
I think a lie.
I think a lie.
A lie? Well, we'll say it's a lie.
You're going to say it's a lie? OK. Hugh Dennis, is it true or is it a lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Last year, I made my husband a birthday meal using some mince I found in the street.
OK, what... Why? Well, why? Why would you do that?
I found a carrier bag on the pavement that amongst other things, had mince in it.
What
I don't know whether
it?
someone had left it there, whether they dropped it.
It wasn't like being clutched by, like, an old woman who was lying on the... You're not being convenient with the truth here, are you?
All right, I slapped her out the way.
What else was in the bag?
Well, there was mince, and it was wrapped up in kind of a plastic, like in one of those cardboard dishes, plastic over it, so it wasn't loose.
Oh, yeah, it sounds perfectly hygienic.
Yeah, well, it was hygienic.
How do you know, like, a dog hadn't weed on it? I know it was in the cellophane,
because I sniffed it.
Did you not have any...
You can't buy class, can you?
What did you cook him with the mince?
Well, I can only cook two things, a spag bowl and macaroni cheese.
Which one did you go for? I've known you for a while, Joe. Can I just check? Is it your current husband or the first one who died of food poisoning?
My one and only husband.
Okay. Oh, it's Chesney Hawkes.
So what do you think, Lee?
I don't know. What do you think, Ray? Is this adding up?
Let's say true.
True?
I think false.
You think it's a lie? You're saying lie. You're saying true. I'm going to say lie.
You're saying lie?
Yeah.
OK. Joe, truth or lie?
It is, of course, a lie.
Thank God.
I once had to explain to the police why I had two coffins in the back of my van.
David's team.
Imagine I'm the police. Why have you got two coffins in the back of your van, sir?
Well, I was doing a touring play at the time, and there was vampires in it.
Yeah.
So we had two coffins in the back of the van as props. And we were actually in Germany doing this play called Neighbours with Long Teeth. And...
Things never translate from English to German.
Why did the police stop you?
Well, unbeknownst to us, the head of the Deutsche Bank had just been assassinated in Frankfurt.
Right.
And they were stopping everyone.
And so they were pulling over basically all vans?
They were looking for anything dodgy, basically, I guess.
Right.
Where were you? Which city?
It was just outside Frankfurt.
I live there.
Do you?
Yeah.
So they pulled you over.
Machine guns, everything. Very, very serious situation.
Yeah.
And we had to explain the plot of our play, Neighbours with Long Teeth.
Because you speak a bit of German. So
yeah.
You were the... How many of you were there?
Three of us.
Oh, you should have said 9.
What sort of venues are you touring around?
Schools.
Schools. So...
The plot went that I was a sort of young 17-year-old schoolboy who'd fallen in love with my neighbour who was a vampire, and she came up out of the coffin, and that's where we first met.
And what was the other coffin for?
The other coffin was for her parents, her mum or her dad. I think they shared, because they're a married couple, they're allowed to...
I mean, to be fair, Moxie is loving this show.
And how did you explain all this to the police?
It was a lot of mime.
But it's quite a complex plot, so how would you convey it to them?
I think they had more things on their mind than the they didn't get to Act 3.
So, yeah, yes, at what point in your description of the story did they glaze over?
Right, Bez, what do you think?
Well, I love the plot of Neighbours with Long Teeth, and it's got to be true with Stephen, I reckon.
You think true, Motsy?
You don't think any of this is true, do you? You don't think this is really happening?
But don't you remember when the president of the Deutsche Bank was assassinated in Frankfurt?
When did this happen?
It would have been late 80s.
I just born. Like,
so you're not a suspect?
That wasn't a big part of your childhood. Let us tell you the story of the president of the Deutsche Bank.
Well, what's it going to be?
Well, I live around Frankfurt area. I mean, even if I wasn't there in the 80s, I think I would have heard the story.
How old were you when you went to Germany?
18.
You arrived in Frankfurt over 20 years after Steve's van was pulled over. I am not surprised they didn't mention it.
But this is a story. This is culture. You carry that on.
A school's tour of a play about vampires, and the police pull over their van once on what was quite a busy day for the police. I cannot share your confidence that they would have mentioned it to you, an 18-year-old dancer coming from South Africa. I don't think that will be on the things you need to know, local restaurants, you know, this is how you pay the tax, the bins come on Tuesdays. Oh, and I must tell you, back in the late 80s, there was a guy here and he had a couple of coffins in his van. Turned out it was just a school's tour. If that's what you're basing it on, I'm going with Bez.
Okay. So you're saying it's true?
Yes.
So, Steve, was it true or was it a lie?
True.
And they never mentioned it!
Once, while trying to impress a date, I landed flat on my back in a flower bed.
David's team.
What were you doing to try and be impressive?
It was actually leaving the date. Oh. I accidentally left from a great height.
When you said that, I thought, like, being on your back was what you were doing to impress them. Like,
no,
getting
I'm not
on
that
your
kind
back.
of girl, Laura.
OK.
Laura, everything isn't Love Island.
I'm confused as to where I am.
Laura, you say you're confused about where you are. Just look to your left. You know you're not on Love Island.
Now, tell me, Maisie, where did this happen?
This was in New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah. I got to know a guy out there, and he asked if I wanted to go back and see his record collection. Behave. We got talking about music, and we went back to his house to listen to records. But he tried to play guitar along to the record.
He sounds like an awful human being.
So I decided I'm gonna head off.
Was that the difference between fancying him and not? The fact that
when
he
he
got the
played guitar
out?
along to the record.
You would not like to go around to his house.
So I called a taxi and sat on. I was perched on the window with the window open. And I thought, it's arrived, it's outside. And I went, thanks very much, see you later. And because I thought we were on the ground floor, I thought I'd just swing my legs over the window and run across the lawn.
Which floor were you on, Maisie?
So if the windows...
18th floor.
You forgot the 19 minutes going up in a lift. No, see, one floor up.
What? One floor, but I just forgot that. We've been
climbed
chatting
the
for a while.
steps in a state of high arousal and therefore forgotten about them. Is that right?
You should write erotica.
Who's to say I don't? I have many names online.
50 Shirts of Grey. That's what
So I got a text saying your Uber's outside. I said, see you later then, and sort of twirled round, and at that moment I clocked out it was not on the ground floor.
You tell an entire story.
Or she made up a whole story.
What happens once you leave the window ledge and you're in the air?
I just remember landing on the small of my back because I was so winded I couldn't speak, and he appeared out of the window and was like, oh, blimey, why'd you jump out the window?
Now again in a New Zealand accent.
And so then I had to commando crawl across the garden with him watching from above.
Was he still playing the guitar? And what's the taxi driver doing? He must have seen this.
He didn't do anything. He just wound down the window and was like, just so you know, the meter's running.
All right, David's team, what are you thinking?
The mechanics of the situation doesn't add up for me, so lie.
Laura?
I just don't know why you didn't land on your face. I don't get why you landed on your back. And that's the reason why I think it's a lie.
You see, I think it's true.
Do you?
Interesting.
But if my teammates say it's a lie, we'll go lie.
Maisie, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
That was true.
Well done.
I can smell if there is a dead fly in the room. Can I just say, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I can smell a dead fly in the room.
So, is what you're saying that if there isn't a dead fly in the room, you have no sense of smell?
No, that's not what I'm saying. And you know damn well that's not what I'm saying, David. No, I can smell if there is a dead fly in the room. I can smell the dead fly.
So is there a dead fly in here?
Hold on. No, I can't smell a dead fly in this room, obviously. This is what we call a normal-sized room.
Let's see.
Okay, a room in my house.
How do you prove this? Do you actually sniff it out? Can you actually, like a sniffer dog, you actually find the dead fly with your nose? Or you just go...
No. I never told you I could find them.
You can't locate it, you just know it's somewhere within the walls.
Well, not within the walls.
I'm not talking about flies that might have been killed by a serial killer and then sort of plastered in.
Yeah. I can't smell them. I can't smell them. No, definitely not.
Right, OK.
But you can't locate them, you just know there's somewhere in the room.
I can smell if there's a dead fly in the room.
So where's...
How can you put it to the test? Because you might have been in a room in which there was a dead fly and you have not smelt it and said there is no dead fly in this room. And people have believed you, and yet lurking in the corner...
It's a good question, Joan. It's a very good question. And I wish that I had a good answer. Just by the law of averages, there's been too many times when I've gone in a room and gone, there's a dead fly in this room. And quite often, we will see the dead fly.
What do you mean quite often? It has to be always. It has to be always.
I can smell if there's a dead fly in the room, so I will go in and go, I think there's a dead fly in the room. That's just a polite way of talking, David. I don't go, there is a dead fly in the room! It's a fact every time!
This room is a disgrace!
I talk more softly than you, David. I have a softer... I don't show off about my talents. Okay. I walk in a room and I go, I think there's a dead fly in this room. In fact, no, I think you'll find there is definitely. There always is.
What does the dead fly smell of?
It's a smell that I wouldn't want to describe to a friend.
Try. Imagine you're a wine connoisseur.
Right.
But it's the smell of a dead fly.
I'm getting...
what are you getting?
I'm getting a bit of wing. I'm getting another wing. And how many wings of flies? What is it, 2 or 4? 4. Another wing. And no, wait. There's only 3 wings. I think I know how this fly died.
You've not really described the smell there. You've described the body parts of a fly while making sniffing noises.
Well, I can't. I'm a professional. You're an amateur. I'm trying to say it in layman's terms.
Well, earlier on, I was. I came to see you in your dressing room to say hello, and I had a little look in the window, and only now I'm thinking there was a dead fly in there, and you never mentioned it.
Before you came, and I went, smell of fly. But I found that smell was soon overpowered, Jason.
David, time to make your mind up. Is he telling the truth? Is that whole fly-smelling thing real?
Well, let us pay him the respect of pretending to consider it. You don't believe him when he says...
I do not believe him.
Well, I think lie.
You think lie, you're saying lie. OK. Lee, were you telling the truth, or was that a lie?
I've actually started believing it myself. It's a lie. 11 years ago, I did a very bad thing in the kitchen. The time has finally come to confess all to my wife.
David's talking.
What did you do?
I broke a cooking pot that you bake chickens in. You roast chickens in.
What? Okay.
Chicken pot.
What was so special about the chicken pot?
Good question, Greg.
Thank you.
Any ideas?
Was it a wedding present?
It wasn't a wedding present, no. It was terracotta, and it's got a lid on it.
Heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty deep, man.
Yeah.
No, it genuinely is. It's about that deep, isn't it? And you put the lid on, and the thing about these terracotta pots is you're not supposed to wash them. The pot absorbs the flavour over the years. I had about an hour before she was coming home, and I knew she would not be happy about this, so I raced to the local kitchen shop and fortunately got the exact same pot.
How many years?
About half an hour to age it.
How many years had the previous one been aging?
Oh, 7 years.
So you had to do 7 years' worth of casseroling?
Yeah.
In
half an hour.
In half an hour?
No, I had to make it look like it was weathered.
How did you do that?
First of all, I put a bit of soil on it. Then I put Marmite on, and then baked it very quickly on a high heat, and then scraped the Marmite off. Then I got sandpaper, a bit of sandpaper on it.
All this in the half an hour?
Unbelievable speed.
Before she got home?
When she arrived home, did she suspect anything?
Well, I was with another woman in bed, but apart from that...
How did you break it?
Well, I was fixing something with a screwdriver, and I got in a bad mood, and I threw the screwdriver down.
You threw a screwdriver so hard that it shattered an ancient cooking pot.
Didn't shatter it. Cracked. And it's not ancient, but the word pot was correct in that
Did you
sense.
say you...
I threw it down, it bounced, and it just chipped it a bit, but it was enough to make my wife... She would have noticed that chip.
So, you said...
Just let me have a drink and have a think about this. I'm not even married.
Why did you feel that a 7-year-old cooking pot had so much sentimental value for your wife that it was worth all this trouble?
Oh, did I not mention her grandmother's ashes inside? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's quite relevant. Sorry, I forgot that. Yeah.
Did you also burn another old lady?
All right, it's time to decide. Victoria?
I have met Lee's wife. She's an extremely sophisticated and nuanced woman with many interests. I don't think she'll be so...
Whoa. What do you mean, many interests? What do you know that I don't? What are you saying?
I can't believe that a 7-year-old pot would loom so large that you would feel unable to tell her.
That's because when you come round to my house and you're with my wife and we're having dinner, she's pleasant and she's nice. She's lovely. She's calm. And the second we wave you off, bye. See, this has been lovely. Close that door. She goes, "You embarrass me again! With your TV friends!" That posh one with the beard kept staring at me. And I didn't like her husband neither.
OK. I've got a couple of extra questions.
Oh, Lord.
What, you say it wasn't cracked, it was just chipped?
It was...
Was it usable?
Yes, it was definitely usable.
You would have been able to say, I'm really sorry I've chipped it, but the thing that you so love about it, all this accumulated flavour, is still there. It's not affected by a tiny chip.
There's a tiny bit missing. And actually, apparently, all the flavour comes from the sweet spot. And that's what had gone.
Where was
I remember as it chipped off, I went, smelt the pot, nothing. I took this little piece of it away.
Wow. Even though the functionality of the pot is unaffected, you thought she'd be so furious at superficial damage to it...
Not superficial.
It is superficial.
No, it isn't superficial. I haven't told you the size of the chip, have I?
No.
Okay. You just simulated it. You went like that.
Yeah, but you don't know how I'm holding it. I'm holding it at the edge of... the edge of it. It goes round here. I'm holding it, you see.
All right, David, it's time to get a grip and make a decision.
So the flight of the screwdriver...
Can I just the pot was ruined, David. That's all you need to know.
Well, yeah, but when you said...
There you go, David. Yeah. Do you know what? I wish I'd have taken my chances with my wife at the time. This is unbearable.
Right. It is time to decide.
Second question.
No.
What did you do with the damaged pot?
I hid it to begin with, and then over the next couple of days, when she wasn't looking, I slowly
dragged it towards the door.
I moved it very slowly.
Because she only notices things when they move. She's Tyrannosaurus Rex.
She would be sat there with a glass of water watching the television. I would come down with a step and she'd see the water shimmer like that. What are you doing? Nothing's got it!
So, David, it's time to decide.
Yeah.
Was Lee telling the truth?
Well, what do you think?
I think it's a lie.
What do you think?
It can't be true.
I think it might be true, but I'm not going to overrule my team. We'll go lie.
Lee, were you telling the truth or were you telling the lie?
I'm sorry, my dear. It's true.
I was once arrested by border guards for illegally entering another country. David's team, what do you think?
Which country?
It was in the mid-90s.
That's not a country.
No. And it was in Eastern Europe, so they changed names very quickly. So I'm not sure. It was either Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia. I don't know which...
You know what stage of its dissolution it was at?
Mm.
Yeah. And what was the problem?
I didn't have my passport.
Right.
Where had you left your passport?
At home. Who were you with, by the way? Were you on your own? Or no, I was with a friend from back home, Pete.
Friend from the pit?
No, with a person called Pete.
Is that his real name? Or is that a nickname?
Pete.
Oh, Pete.
No, P-I-T.
Oh, Pete.
Oh, it's like
Pete. He's called Pete.
Like Brad Pitt, but Pitt is his first name.
Otherwise, I would say Pete.
Yeah.
We were travelling on something that was called Schönes Wochenend-Ticket. And
that's German for National Express.
No. Now, what it is German for, you can use any train you like, as long as it's a slow train.
We have that system with all of our trains. OK, so you get off the train at the border.
You do.
Is it at that moment you realise you don't have your passport?
Yes. So we wanted to go into Czechoslovakia. So I didn't have my passport. So the obvious thing to do is don't go across where the border guards are, but go a mile off into the fields and cross there. If then someone wants to see your passport, you say, oh, I must have lost it. Roughly how far into Czechoslovakia, in whatever form it was, were you? I was about, give or take, a mile. I see in the distance, I see like two white lights. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I realise it's a Jeep. And then they're driving towards us.
I'm quite gripped by this story.
The Jeep then just stopped, and then there is 4 people jumping out with automatic rifles and dogs.
Automatic dogs?
What sort of dogs were they? I didn't ask for their names. But...
Neither did Alex.
They were terrifying dogs, probably Alsatians or something. What happened? They're all around you. So
well,
what
they
do
all
they say?
jump out with their rifles, don't they? And then saying, or whatever their language is. So,
and then we had to gain the Jeep, and then we were driving off into Czechoslovakia, and then we ended up in some woods. One of them jumps out, opens the gate, and I didn't even see was there. Then there is some little wooden hut. And was someone in there that spoke German. We got on well with that fella, and our excuse was, they would say, we had no idea that we crossed the border.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then, well, they didn't fully buy it, but they knew there was little point executing us. What happens then? And now The funny story begins. They said you'll have to pay a penalty.
Oh, the Germans and penalties.
That penalty... Never again, please. Then the Czechs drove us back to the German border, handed us over to the German border guards, and then they congratulated us on being the first illegal immigrants from Germany into Czechoslovakia. Well, there we are. David, what are you and your team thinking?
It's the travel card thing. It just seems right.
No, I think on an emotional level, having spent so long hearing that story, we need it to be true. Yeah. We need something.
We need it to be true,
Yeah.
because a lot of our life went into that.
So
yes,
you're going to say
on that
true?
emotional level, I think we have to say true.
You're saying it's true. Henning, truth or lie? Well, that story is actually true.
When I was a child, the only thing that would get me to sleep was my parents reading me the takeaway menu from our local Chinese restaurant, the Flying Chopstick.
David's team.
At what age was this?
I'd say it kicked off at 7 and probably lasted about a year.
Was it read out in any type of accent?
No. Well, my dad...
Would you say any type? Any type. There's one specific one. If they read it in a French accent, it'd be like, this is quite surreal, isn't it? But I'll go with it.
My dad is half Polish, half Lithuanian, so it had a sort of Eastern European tinge.
Could you give us a kind of a little rendition?
So it would be something along the lines of...
This will be interesting.
It'll be something
We'll just separate ourselves from the person doing the routine.
You don't want to be in the clip when it comes on the news, do you?
So Dad would say, for example, black bean with chop suey, something like that. Black bean.
Was your dad the fella from Sesame Street? One pork balls. Two lovely pork balls.
You know, lychee for the end of the menu.
Lychee, that's
Yeah, I know that. The Flying Chopstick, they just serve a single lychee, don't they?
Lychee. It was the staple. It was the 70s. Things were a little bit sparse then. It was Wilson's, you know, things are hard. I can't remember his speech, but you know the one I mean. Things are terrible.
Wilson's things are hard.
Wilson's things are...
Harold Wilson, things are hard.
We've only got lychees. Things are hard. We've only got lychees, guys.
How far into the menu would you drift off?
That's a very good question.
That's why I asked it.
Yeah. My eye would be sort of fully open, like that. A little bit like...
just one eye open.
One eye open, always looking, always just checking. And then I would say, by the end of the first page, the eye would be down.
So you used to go to sleep half a face at a time?
Can you remember the first time that this happened?
It would have been... I think it was on a Friday night. Mum and Dad would have been entertaining, and I laughed a lot and then fell asleep.
So what do you think, then? David Hay, how is this striking you?
The detail, the fact that she knew straight away what day it was on a Friday night. I don't remember what day it was when you were 7.
Oh, I
can't remember last week. I get punched in the head for a living, but...
But David, they did it a lot. There was repetition. They did it a lot.
Repetition, eh?
Repetition. So I knew the menu back to front because they had to do it so often.
Well, that's just Chinese. It would be that way, no, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
Romesh, what are you thinking?
I think it... I don't buy it.
David? Actually, you've got two Davids. We'll call you the Haymaker and the Librarian. What are you thinking, David?
Well, I think I don't believe it.
I like the system you've got there. We're going to call you the Haymaker and the Librarian. So what do you think, David?
I think I don't think... She's... At the age of 7, I think a 7-year-old child will require a coherent story.
All right, so you're saying it's a lie. Well, let's find out. Mel, truth or lie?
The story was, in fact, a lie!
When I was a teacher, whilst trying to explain a tricky concept, I accidentally locked a pupil in a cupboard.
David's team.
OK. What was the concept? Was it the concept of imprisonment?
It was a maths lesson. I was teaching the topic of probability and chance.
That's the chances of getting locked in the cupboard.
Well, that became an extra learning objective. That wasn't the main one. I was trying to get across the idea of
Narnia.
Yeah. I was trying to get them to understand how to explain the concept of probability. So the idea was that if you had, like, an alien arrive on Earth, how would you explain probability?
Which would be the first thing you'd do, wouldn't it?
Yeah. No, actually...
Put the laser down, let me talk to you about maths.
Yeah.
Romesh, what age group was this?
So this is year 8, so 11, 12 years old.
So...
what happened was I needed somebody to pretend to be an alien.
OK.
So I selected a child from the class. I didn't just go out and look for one.
How did you select? Did you go for the little green one with the pointy ears?
Well, no, actually, what it was is I thought I was doing a good thing because, you know, you get some kids that are sort of... they have problems making friendships and stuff like that. And I had a kid like that in the class, so I thought I'd bring him out of himself.
You chose the kid that got bullied to be the alien. So that the rest of the class can point at him and go, alien.
I mean, to be fair, I thought we were just playing a game. I didn't realise this was an Ofsted inspection. So basically what it was, I was trying to make it realistic.
OK.
So I said to him, why don't we pretend this cupboard is like a transformation chamber? You know, you go in the cupboard, you go in as a boy.
Oh, it's just getting worse, isn't it? One of my kids came home from school and described this scene. I'd be down that school like a shot.
And how surprised will you then be to see that teacher on the BBC a few years later?
In the current climate, not surprised at all.
Basically, I said to him, you're going to go into the cupboard, you're going to transform into an alien.
What was the concept again you're trying to teach the kid?
Probability.
Probability?
Yeah.
We haven't got to that bit yet. We're going to find out when he steps out.
Oh, well, no, we're trying to find out how to transform to an alien right now.
That's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to him coming out. We never get that far, do we? What am I talking about?
At the next Ofsted inspection, a small skeleton was discovered.
And they said, what are the chances of that? And they said, well, interesting you should ask that. What were you going to do, though? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
If he hadn't got locked in, what were you going to do?
The idea was that he was going to come out and be the alien, and then I was going to get different kids to...
different kids to... Don't lose confidence.
So, I was going to get different kids to explain to him what probability was. So he was going to be like the dummy alien, and then he'd be like... Boo, boo, boo. And then...
Never to be bullied again.
No, I can't help feeling that I'm a little bit under attack here.
It's all right, because you may be lying, in which case you're off the hook. Why does it help to understand probability, to get children to explain it to an alien?
So basically, in order to get the idea that a kid understands a concept, them explaining it and that explanation being clear illustrates that they have learnt it completely.
So Romesh, you've sort of left it that he's in the cupboard. He got in.
Yeah.
What happened?
I realised I couldn't open the door to let him out. So I sort of started looking around for other teachers to help me. And they said, actually, the cupboard, it can be opened from the inside. The problem came when I said to him, you're going to have to come out the cupboard, just open it from the inside. And he replied... because he was being an alien.
Right.
So that extended the problem. And he was in there for 20 minutes.
So he came out in the end. He eventually opened it. He came out and...
Well, the lesson was ruined.
What are you thinking, David?
I do know that Romesh used to be a maths teacher.
Oh, OK.
Right.
So, and that, you know, education's loss was show business's gain. There were so many gaps in the story, I just...
Yeah, the story wasn't really adding up, right?
yeah.
Well, a maths teacher,
We think it's a lie, do we?
I think it might be.
It's a lie for all of you. OK. Romesh, truth or lie?
The story is true.